Hey, it's Big Game James McCarty, Sports Director at Flag Family Media, here with Dragon Women's Basketball Head Coach Karla Nelson. Coach, looking at last weekend, some tough losses, but ball games that your team really competed for 40 minutes, and it just felt like in both ball games, that last probably 4-ish minutes, they just pulled away. Is that just something to where they wore you down? I mean, of course, I know you, Mary, they hit a half a dozen threes in the last 5 minutes, but how do you take that and learn from it?
Well, we watched film yesterday, and defensively, just so disappointing. Just to have given up a lot of threes this past weekend, and that both teams really have picked on our fives, and our fives really need to step up and be able to defend bigger kids putting the ball on the floor or hitting a three, and we just haven't really done that, and I think that played a large role in losing both games. And I also think that just overall team defense at the end of the Mary game was so disappointing. I think Mary got just about everything that they could have asked for. They got to the free throw line, they got to the rim, and then they hit the three. So they were at all three levels against us. And we just have to play defensively. We have to get better.
You'd mentioned the five specifically. You know that Taryn was battling through foul trouble last weekend. So I think she had 17 or 18 minutes total in Bismarck. You talk about the fives getting picked on a bit. How are you, I would imagine Coach Swen probably working on trying to build up some of the toughness and just trying to stay in there, that gritty attitude, and making sure that you guard for 30 seconds.
Well, I think what's happening is, we're putting Terry, especially Terry, in a tough situation, asking her to guard some of these more mobile kind of 4-5 combos. And honestly, that's where some of these injuries are really hurting us, because we have the inability to match up and still have some scoring punch. I mean, I think Alishka could match up, but she's going to have to play tougher. And then she has to give us some scoring. So, like I told Terry, we have to beat people to the punch when they have these 4-5 combos like she had. We have to take advantage of her right away, so that they have to play to our strengths, where they actually got out in front of us, and we have to adjust to their strengths. And right now, we just don't have enough depth to do those things. And the one thing I do believe is when we get some of these guys back, we're going to be able to match up with a lot of teams. But until then, the current players have to figure out how to be able to defend, and we have to be able, as a team, how to figure out to defend team defensive wise. And then I think just other people need to get better. And, that's a lot to ask from people who would probably be right now maybe 9, 10, 11 in depth. But, right now that's the boat we're in, and I certainly don't feel sorry for us. And, I think there's ample opportunity to play, so get better.
You have an opportunity with 2 home matchups going into Christmas here. But, of course, Northern State and then the new kid on the block in Jamestown. What troubles do they present, and how are you going to have to try and combat those this weekend?
Well, Northern has a couple young ladies that are in the post that can hit the three. So again, it is up to us to get out there and defend without having to do a lot of switching. And listen, we're going to play man to man. So figure out how to get up and defend. And then Jamestown is a lot smaller than us, and so that there again we have the defensive issues with our bigs against their smaller bigs. But I believe that we can get to the point where we can do these things and challenge ourselves and get better. But until we do that, we're going to struggle with this current lineup that we have until we get, hopefully in January and February, get some people back.
In closing, a couple of the younger players that seem like they're starting to emerge. Aubrey Morrison, off of the bench, is electric, and then being able to bring Kaylin Kelly, I understand part of that is necessity, putting her in the starting lineup, but it seems like she's starting to find and carve out a really nice role. How have those 2 underclassmen helped keep your team afloat, at least as of right now?
Right. I mean, they're allowing us to hang on by a thread, right? But Kaylin is playing really, really good basketball. She didn't play as well at Minot. I feel like she looked tired, fatigued. I have no idea what she looked like. Basically, she didn't look good. But then, unfortunately for Kaylin, her mother is exactly like me, so she got it from both ends. And then she comes out against Mary and really, she did some things that I haven't seen a Dragon team do in a long time. Just catching a ball, full court pass in for a game speed layup. Just playing with a lot of confidence, shooting the three, putting the ball on the floor. And Aubrey, what can you say? I mean, she might be the smallest kid on the floor, but I'd put her up against anybody. I mean, she's playing great basketball. She's got great skills. If we can just weather this whatever we're in, the future is really bright. I mean, we're very talented. If we were, like I said last week, if we were healthy, some of these kids that are starting are coming off the bench, and then the starters that we had are really good basketball players. So, I feel like there's a reason why this is happening, and we're just going to have to find the positives in it. But again, we still have to go out and compete this weekend, and I believe there are 2 games we can win, and you got to come out and defend first, rebound, and then take care of the basketball and hopefully score some points.
Definitely will.
And hopefully we get the Kaylin Kelly that her and her mother and I love, right? That would be nice.
That would be tremendous.
Yeah, and then get Terry going again.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks for a couple minutes of your time. Good luck this weekend. We're looking forward to being back home at Nemzik.
Let's go Dragons.
Big game James McCarty alongside head coach Karla Nelson of the Dragon women's basketball team. Have a great rest of your day.